Hi guys, welcome back to Sleeve Saturday. Look, we all adore Steve Perry, but we love him best when he's in Journey, but he quit that band multiple times. So many people take a simplistic view on why he actually left the band. Oh, it's because his mother died. It's because he didn't get along with his bandmates. It's because after the Trial by Fire record he was forced out. It's because he wanted to go into seclusion, etc, etc. Look, in reality, it's far more complicated and nuanced than all this. Perry wanted out of Journey on 3 separate occasions, which I'm going to go into in this video. Although there are some credible reasons for his decisions, I believe at times there was a selfishness in him too. His bandmates, particularly Neil Schon and John Cain, well, their feelings weren't really taken into account sometimes. Steve, for his own reasons, was happy to let go each time, and that was it. He was out. For the first 3 years of Perry's tender in Journey, starting in 1977, Steve was relatively happy and satisfied with his life in the band. Despite battles with the likes of drummer Ainsley Dunbar and co-lead singer Greg Raleigh leaving the group, things for Perry were relatively calm as he gained control of the band that he joined as just a rookie. It's around 1981 that things started to creak with the other members of the band though. In my video about the troubled relationship Steve had with his girlfriend Sherry Swafford, I spoke about the strain that this put on the band between 1981 and 1983. By all accounts, Sherry was extremely demanding of Steve's time. She even went out on tour with them, which disjointed the band's dynamic, both creatively and personally. The tour for 1983's Frontiers was fraught with tension because of this. It sowed the seeds of resentment from John Cain and Neil Schon towards Perry, and likewise, him towards them.
You know, we'd get off stage, he'd take off in his car and he'd be gone and we'd be sitting around and we'd meet the fans. There was no more Steve, you know.
It was awful. And we were, flying around without him. It was weird.
This all took its toll and gives us the first time that Perry decided to effectively quit Journey. Following that Frontiers tour in 1984, Perry could literally just focus on his own music and Sherry. He melded both aspects of his personal and professional life into the first single from his new solo album, Street Talk. At this point, this isn't a guy who missed his band or his bandmates. He didn't want to be in Journey anymore, a pattern that would repeat itself several times in the next few decades. He loves the fans and loves the music, I do believe that. He just doesn't love Journey as an entity. Following a few bits and pieces and cameos in the mid-80s, he did return to Journey for 1986's Raised on Radio. His frustration for certain members was showcased here though, and he fired the band's rhythm section for this album. However, he later regretted that decision.
Having had those circumstances in front of me today, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't have done it. Seemed like a good idea at the time.
Perry and Sherry weren't together at this point, but his mother did pass away during the making of the record, which he himself was producing. The Raised on Radio tour was cut short in 1987, and this was the second time that Perry left the band. Steve Perry is quite clearly a very emotional guy, and his mother's passing at this point was a factor, along with what he calls burnout after 10 years with Journey.
At some point, I got a little bit toasty, a little burned out. I was pretty toasty, pretty done.
As I said though, to just cut loose like this again was infuriating and frustrating for his bandmates who were left out in the cold without their group. 4 years go by and the 3 of them were back on stage for promoter Bill Graham's tribute concert in 1991. But man, there is no fun or chemistry on stage here. Does this look like a man who wants to be there? Also, if I'm being honest, although the sound mix isn't great on this video, I think Perry's voice was already showing signs of degrading at this point. Now whether that was from a lifestyle choice or whatever, I'm not sure. But Perry was not comfortable vocally on stage that day. This was the last time he ever played live with Journey.
Good afternoon, San Francisco!
Steve released a new solo record in 1994 to some moderate success and he went out on tour. To date, this is his final ever live tour. His voice was pretty good here, but not what it was 10 years earlier. The relatively lukewarm reception to his second solo LP wakes him up to the fact that fans prefer him with Journey. He then calls up Cain again in 1995 and says, "Let's do something and resurrect Journey." I mean, how and why Kane and Sean let themselves fall for this every time is just beyond me. But they go for it, and you know what? It's a success. I mean, of course it was. The song When You Love a Woman is Grammy nominated, and the album Trial by Fire, their first in 13 years, smashes expectations and hits the top 3 on the charts. Journey are back. But then the pattern continues. Before they can go out on tour, Perry suffers a hip injury while out hiking in Hawaii. The band wait nearly 2 years for him to get surgery, and Perry refuses to do it. Steve has shown frequently in the last 40 years his heart just truly isn't in being a member of Journey. Now, surgery is a personal choice for sure, but it always seemed to me like he looked for excuses not to be there. I think as well as this, Steve knew deep down his voice just couldn't carry a tour at this point. In 1998, Perry officially quits Journey for the 3rd time. They replaced him with a new lead singer, and one after that, and one after that. In 1998 though, Perry lawyered up, and he told them if they were going to go out his Journey without him, he was getting his cut, even if he's not there. To this day, he still gets paid for Journey tours, new music and merch. I mean, man, what a great deal for Perry, but very harsh on his bandmates, who, let's face it, he messed around on multiple occasions. The band even in 2023 are handcuffed. I believe Steve deliberately put a financial jinx on the band as punishment for not backing him.
I says, you know, don't fracture the name Journey. Don't crack the stone. Go out and do whatever you want to with whomever you want to and call it whatever you want to, but leave Journey alone.
In 2005, he stood with them on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and 12 years later at the Rock Hall. On these occasions, it's cordial and friendly, but you can see through it. It's frosty behind the scenes in reality. In terms of live music, Steve has only performed a couple of times since 1994. This was with his pals, the indie rock band, The Eels. Look, this just isn't a voice anymore that could pull off a tour, despite multiple promises over the years that he would play live again. Why did Steve leave Journey? Well, on all 3 occasions that he quit the band, Steve himself will give different reasons. But for me, in reality, it's twofold. His heart hasn't been in Journey for over 40 years, and his voice since the 1990s hasn't been up to par live. Steve knows that himself. I'm curious though, guys, what are your thoughts? Sure, let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you next time.